So this neighborhood has secrets. Okay, I'm just kidding, sort of. But anyways, this neighborhood used to be one of the most coveted neighborhoods in all of Gilbert. People used to have a lot of pride of ownership when they said they were living in the islands. But in the past couple of years, I would say the tune has changed and people feel a little bit differently about it. So let's talk about it. I'm Courtney Strelzik. I'm a local real estate agent here in Gilbert, and I break down different neighborhoods and we get into the nitty-gritty, the good, the bad, the ugly, because no neighborhood is perfect. And we're going to be ranking things from a scale of 1 to 10. We're going to talk about location, quality of life, homes, neighborhood amenities, all those sort of things. But most importantly, I'm going to share the number one qualm people have with this neighborhood, particularly in the past couple years. So make sure you stick around till the end.
If you aren't familiar with the islands, it's known for having 3 major Finger Lakes nestled within the community. There's beautiful walking trails and parks, and it just has this very tranquil feel to the neighborhood. And it's on the very northwest side of Gilbert. So as far as being central, I mean, this is to the Phoenix metro area. This is much more central than other parts of Gilbert. For reference, you're about 23 minutes from Sky Harbor, 22 minutes to downtown Tempe, and the neighborhood's pretty quiet, but the surrounding area feels very lively. There's a lot going on at different shopping centers, different dining experiences. So it's very much of a different feel than like South Gilbert, like Adora Trails, for example. Downtown Gilbert is only 1.5 miles away. And you also have Fry's, the grocery store that's right in the center of the islands.
So a couple of my favorite places within like the islands too, there's a coffee shop called Grind Time. It's actually a family-owned business. They started off as a coffee truck. Actually, they've done really well, but their beans are incredible. They roast their own beans, so definitely check them out. Oh, Bagel Nosh is also another really good place. Super yummy bagels, of course, and then they have a whole bunch of different like breakfast sandwiches and coffee as well. We're checking them out. Now, as far as ranking the location, I actually would give it quite a high score, 9 out of 10. I'm going to give it that high. And the reason is because you're close to everything. You're really in the heart of Gilbert. You're not that far from downtown. You're not terribly far from highway access. So it's a little bit closer to like Sky Harbor Airport than other parts of Gilbert. And you still have like a plethora of options for shopping and dining.
So the islands is technically a master planned community. And if you're not familiar with that, it's basically a giant neighborhood. And this one has smaller subdivisions within that neighborhood. Now, a pro of the islands is definitely the aesthetics of the neighborhood. It's gorgeous. And if you like to go on runs or walk your dogs or just, be outside in general, it is a fantastic place to be. There's also a giant park right in the center of the community that has basketball, there's sand volleyball, bocce, playground, and even a dock to access the Finger Lakes. The amenities offered in the islands does change depending on which subdivision you are living in the community. So for example, Coral Point actually has a community pool, but not every subdivision is going to have access to a pool. Some of the subdivisions are also gated as well. You'll see this more often with the subdivisions that are waterfront. It's not the entire community.
So one of my favorite parts of the islands, it's actually a pretty active lake community. And what I mean by that is, okay, so we have a lot of communities with these Finger Lakes in Gilbert, but a lot of people don't actually use the water. They don't have any boats. You don't really see them out in the water, but the islands, a lot of the homes actually do have pontoon boats or donut boats. So you see quite a people out there actually enjoying the water features. And another really cool tradition is during Christmas time, they actually put Christmas lights on the pontoon boats. And you can see if you're driving along Warner during Christmas time, you can see them all out in the water. It's pretty cool, fun tradition. So the HOA fee is going to vary depending on which specific subdivision you are living in the community. Across the board, there's a semi-annual HOA fee that's $360 or comes out to about $60 a month. And then there could be a secondary HOA depending on which subdivision you're in. Some of the ones that, have more amenities like a pool and it's waterfront, they can get pretty steep. Some of them are even as high as $300 a month, where there's a couple others that don't even have a secondary HOA fee. So as far as ranking for community amenities, I'm going to give it about a 7.5 out of 10. It does pretty well. I mean, the trails around here, they're absolutely gorgeous. If you're out running or walking your dog, this is the place to be. But I would say some of the other areas that have pretty equivalent HOA fees, like particularly if you go down to further south where the homes and the developments are a little bit newer, you do get slightly nicer amenities if you're looking for like a pool or a clubhouse. So it just ultimately depends what you're looking for, but I would say there are some, yes, for the price of the HOA, you might get a slightly better bang for your buck, but I will say just like enjoying walking and running around here, it's absolutely fantastic.
So let's actually talk about the homes. So there's a mix of single family homes. That's definitely most of the houses here. And then you also will find some patio type homes and then townhomes as well. In the past calendar year, prices we've seen anywhere from $355,000 all the way up to over 1.1 million. There are definitely several beautiful homes within the community. Definitely some higher priced ones. A lot of these are going to be on the water, most likely somewhat renovated as well. But I wouldn't say they're as many luxury listings compared to like Val Vista Lakes, which is another lake community on the north side of Gilbert. Most of the homes were built in the mid to late 80s, some into the early 90s.
So as far as ranking the actual homes here, I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10. Don't hate me, but the reason for it is it's a very traditional style that we've seen like in the 90s or even the late 80s, where it's that stucco, more of that desert color. So a lot of the homes do look pretty similar to one another. There are a lot of homes that are actually on the water that have a little bit, they're more expensive, but they have more unique features. And this is a pretty common trend for this part of Gilbert, and homes built in this time frame is really just to see that, you know, it's almost like copy paste style of homes. So that is the reason why I'm giving it a 5 out of 10. Not the most positive. I wouldn't say it's the biggest pro of living here. So as far as schools, for high school, you have Mesquite High. Junior high is also Mesquite Junior High. And then for elementary, you actually have your own elementary school, or it's tucked away in the community, and that's the Islands Elementary. Also below, I'm going to put a couple different resources to check out school rankings. And then also, if you're interested just in crime reports and so forth, I'll put some links that are good resources, not just for this neighborhood, but for any neighborhood. I'll put that in the description, so go check that out.
Now, in the beginning of the video, I promised to share the biggest qualm or the biggest issue a lot of people report about the islands, and this is it. Okay, so a lot of the homes were built in the 80s and 90s, like I said, and a lot of the homes in this neighborhood haven't really been that updated. Now, neighborhoods typically go through a natural cycle. As they sell the homes and people move in, we typically see them start to be a little bit more renovated. And we're starting to see the very early signs of this cycle. So if you are looking for a home in this neighborhood, you are going to come across a lot of homes that are still a little outdated. Now, there still are some homes that have been beautifully renovated, much more modern. But honestly, if you're open to doing some light renovations, maybe paint, add some flooring, you could have a good opportunity to force appreciation on your home.
Now, if you're interested in seeing the current list of homes for sale in this neighborhood, my email address is right here. Just go ahead and shoot me an email and I will get you the most updated list. Thank you so much for your time. And if you found any of this helpful, please hit that subscribe button. Thanks.